You know how everyone's talking about electric cars these days? Well, what if I told you Lexus might be about to drop something that could completely shake up the luxury sedan game in 2026? Imagine a sleek sedan with not just one body style but two, and it's going full EV. Stay tuned because this is going to get interesting. If you're into cars, or even just keeping an eye on what's next in tech and luxury, you've probably heard whispers about the 2026 Lexus IS. This isn't just another update to their lineup, we're talking about a potential reinvention of what a Lexus can be. The rumors are swirling, and while Lexus hasn't spilled all the details yet, there's enough out there to piece together why this car could be a total game changer. So let's dive into what we do know, and trust me, it's worth sticking around for. Now here's the thing, as cool as sedans still are, they've been losing ground to SUVs and crossovers for years now. And when you throw EVs into the mix, things get even more complicated. How does a brand like Lexus keep its edge? That's the big question hanging over the 2026 IS. It's not just competing against other sedans anymore, it's got to stand out in a world where performance, design, and sustainability all matter equally. If Lexus doesn't nail this, they risk falling behind in a market that's moving faster than ever. So let's break it down. First up, the interior. From what we're hearing, Lexus is pulling out all the stops to make the cabin feel futuristic without being overwhelming. Picture a minimalist dashboard with a massive touchscreen angled toward the driver, probably around 12 inches, and loaded with features designed to make your life easier. Think high-end materials like leather, wood, and aluminum everywhere you look. Even the seats are getting special treatment, with premium leather upholstery that's both heated and ventilated. They're aiming for comfort and class at every turn. But here's the kicker, none of this matters unless the tech actually works well. Lexus knows drivers expect seamless connectivity, so Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Bluetooth will almost certainly come standard. Oh, and don't forget the sound system, they wouldn't dare skimp on that. Then there's the performance side of things. Now, Lexus hasn't confirmed everything yet, but word on the street is they're considering some pretty impressive engine options. There's talk of a turbocharged 2.0-liter four-cylinder making about 241 horsepower, plus a beefier 3.5-liter V6 pushing closer to 311 horsepower. Both would pair with an 8-speed automatic transmission, and rear-wheel drive looks set to be the default setup. Of course, if snow or rough roads are part of your daily grind, all-wheel drive might also be on the table. But what really caught my attention is the suspension system. Double wishbones up front and multi-link in the back? That's a recipe for sharp handling and smooth rides, a balance Lexus has always excelled at. Add in variable ratio steering, and suddenly you've got a car that feels alive on the road. But wait, there's more. Remember how I mentioned EVs earlier? Here's where things get juicy. While Lexus hasn't officially said whether the 2026 IS will go fully electric, the writing's on the wall. With brands like Tesla and Porsche setting new standards for performance and range, Lexus can't afford to ignore the shift. Some insiders think they'll offer hybrid versions too, giving buyers flexibility depending on their needs. Whether it's pure electric power or a mix of gas and battery, one thing's clear, efficiency is going to play a huge role in how this car performs and sells. Of course, no modern car is complete without cutting-edge safety tech, and Lexus seems ready to deliver. Expect the latest version of their Safety System Plus suite, which includes stuff like pedestrian detection, lane departure warnings, adaptive cruise control, and blind spot monitoring. These aren't just bells and whistles, they're features that genuinely help prevent accidents and make driving less stressful. Combine that with intuitive infotainment controls and a premium audio experience, and you've got a package that ticks a lot of boxes for today's buyers. Now, let's talk money. Pricing for the 2026 IS hasn't been locked down yet, but early estimates suggest it'll start somewhere around £35,000. Higher trims, like the F Sport and luxury models, could push that number closer to £40,000 or £45,000. Sure, that's not cheap, but for what you're getting, it might just be worth it. Especially if Lexus nails the transition to EV technology. The release date is pegged for late 2025 or early 2026, so we're not far off from seeing this thing in person. Here's the moment of truth. The 2026 Lexus IS could redefine what a luxury sedan means in the age of electrification. Will it live up to the hype? Can it compete with the Teslas and BMWs of the world? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, this car represents a bold step forward for Lexus. If they pull it off, they won't just stay relevant, they'll set a new benchmark for the industry. Alright, before you go, hit subscribe if you want to stay updated on all things car related. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.